On this episode of Magic Customs, we're going to review the 30 kg, which is 66 pounds in Freedom units. VEVOR Welding Positioner. This thing's available on Amazon. I'm going to have a link in the description. But is this thing worth your money? Let's test it out. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another 15-minute tool review. I was in Costa Rica, and my VEVOR rep says, hey, we're going to send you something. I was like, do it. It's a big box, and it's heavy. Giant box. Look at the size of this hog. Let's get inside it. Take a peek. Oh, what are you doing in there? Get out. Get out of there. You can't see it if you're in it. This is the 30 kg, 66 pound in Freedom units. VEVOR Welding Positioner. Let's put it together. This is in the package, rolled up. Power cable, a couple nuts and bolts, instructions, and some type of signal wire. I don't know what that's for. And then this thing. Now, if you were some sort of sissy, or you got a bad back, you're going to need help with that, getting it out of the box, unless you break the sides. So just be careful. Don't hurt yourself, guys. Oh! Ah! Oh. Get some help. All right, guys. Here it is, all put together. Basically, this thing just locks on the side. You can basically just slide it onto the notches. There's no hardware, so you can take this off when you're not using it, store it in the front. This is listed as being 12.4, so it's a 12.4 plate. Its clamping range is in millimeters, and it is basically equates to about 8 1/4 inches, which is actually huge when you think about it. This thing is 120 volts. It has an 80-watt motor. The 30 kg, 66 pound rating is the horizontal, and the vertical is half of that. Just be mindful of that. This does have a spring-loaded ground system, so you can, if you're permanently using this machine, you can ground your lug, just bolt it right to this. We're probably going to use a clamp for now because we're doing low amps. This thing basically tips forward and backwards, so you can have it flat, you can dump it 90 degrees. This also up and down, side to side, in and out. You can rotate here, you can rotate here, you can pretty much rotate over the whole thing because this is a rotator. All right, guys, let's take a look inside this thing. I know the other machine, I didn't disassemble it, and some guys were like, I want to see inside it. Okay, so here's what we're looking at. As far as I can determine, you know, you have your relay for your output, for your speed control, you have a power switch, you have a directional switch, you have an auto or foot switch. I believe if you put it in auto, it works off the welder feed. So you can, there's a welder plug on the back side of this thing. Let me show you this. Depending upon your welder, they have a plug that goes in here, which I actually conveniently have in my hand. And what you can do is wire this into your trigger on your welder. So what happens is, I'm going to explain why that's important as we go. All right, so functionally on the front, you got the reset button, which technically is really the start button for the auto function. If you put it in foot, it works off the foot pedal and you press the pedal. If you put it in auto, it works off of this timer. This timer you can set to seconds, minutes, or hours. So we'll just set it for seconds, and I have it set for 20 right here. So what you'll notice is, let me back this up so you guys can see it. What you can do is you can literally hit this reset button, and this thing is going to start turning. And what this is going to do is going to time you up till 20 seconds, and it'll keep rotating. That is for someone who maybe doesn't want to use the pedal, and they're like, I just want to hit the button, run it for 30 seconds, get my bead, bzzz, let go, and have things stop. There you go. It also works in auto if you're going to use the trigger function for the welder. So if you have something that you have worked on as far as I know the exact time it needs to spin. I know the exact heat and the welder input and everything. And you're building repetitive pieces. Say you have one weld you're making, or you have a plate and you're welding it on it. And you know, I need to spin this thing and weld for 26 seconds to make it all the way around, whatever the speed is. You can continue just to hit reset, change your fixture, hit reset again, change your fixture, and literally have a duplicatable weld every time. That's kind of handy. This has a tall fixture stand. Now, I like to rest my hand, okay? So I want to hold my torch and pull the trigger. So I would rest it on this, and this thing moves up and down, it moves side to side, it moves in and out. You know, you can lock it down. I have it locked down right now, but I mean, everything moves nice and smooth, and you can go, hold on a second, I got everything tight. That's too loose. You can go up and down with this thing. I mean, everything is adjustable. The whole rig moves in and out. So what you can do is you can take this part, flip it over, so this clamp is over here, and you can actually clamp in your MIG torch to be like fixed right here. And then if you hook in basically your trigger switch function, every time you just kind of hit that button and off she goes spinning. Now guys, I have to be very upfront and honest with you. I tried to TIG weld with this table. It spins too fast for me. I am an average speed TIG welder, I would think, and this machine does not lug down slow enough to effectively be able to TIG weld. I know that was something that I was looking forward to. It does not do that. So if you buy this machine, $600, and you expect to TIG weld with it, I'm going to tell you that I do not recommend it for that. If you are MIG welding, this thing's your jam, because this thing is going to give you a repeatable result every time, and it's going to allow you to do production work same every time. So I have a piece of steel just hooked in here, and this is basically just some pipe. So what we're going to do is I'm going to grab the old Arccaptain MiG 200. This welder has been a workhorse here, and anybody who watches my channel knows that. We also have the TIG 200P, we got the Cut 50, but today we're just gonna throw 120 amps at it, and then we're gonna try to regulate speed. I wanna show you guys how smooth this jaw is. This is actually a nice feature that you don't have to use tools to chuck it up. And you can spin these and you go either way. So if you want it to lock on the inside of a pipe or want it to be on the exterior of the pipe, these actually come out and you can flip them around. So all we're going to do is set this in here, and we're going to just, that's it. That's tight. That's literally good in there. I just wanted to show you guys how functional that part was. I was actually very impressed with how smooth this table and how the chuck works. I mean, it is a perfect circle. Wow, all right. Check that out. That's literally a perfect circle. So if you're doing production work, that's actually solid. I want to keep playing with this. All right, guys, ready? Here we go. I'll try not to be jittery. Wow, that is so good. That is so good. Guys, I'm gonna insert pictures. I know the GoPro doesn't do it justice. I'll take pictures with my phone and I'll show you what that looks like. Now let me get this thing flipped over and we'll try it with this holding the MIG gun and we'll see how it does. I got it all reset. This thing's all fixtured up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna plug it in for 25 seconds. I'm gonna put on auto and we're gonna hit the button and just pull the trigger. And hopefully it just keeps going around. Ready? Let's go. Hood's down, guys. Now it's gonna finish. Oh, that's a pretty decent time right there. And again, you guys can't see how uniform that is. That's from me playing with it, but look at that. All right, guys, that's the basic overview and use of the VEVOR 30 kg welding positioner. This thing is heavy. I think the ship weight on it's like 85 pounds. 30 kg equates to 66 pounds in US Freedom measurements. It does what it says. You can lock your gun in, you can wire it to your MIG, you can set it up, just hit the button, the thing will automatically pull the trigger, and you can do absolutely repeatable results every time. Like I did say, let me preface this with, this is not ideal if you're a TIG welder. This machine at its slowest speed is really a little bit too fast to TIG. I did try it. I'm not a fast TIG welder, but I'm not the slowest either. So if you're buying this machine, what are you using it for? Repeatable production work. If you're welding pipes to flanges, if you're welding two pipes together, you can set it up like that. The thing turns 90 degrees. You can do it with the MIG torch in it. Look at this. You tip all the way down with this thing. This thing goes 90 degrees, comes back up. It's a pretty heavy duty frame. I didn't notice any deflection. If I was to use this in a production capacity, I might consider bolting it down because you could jostle it a little bit, even though it is a heavy unit. You guys saw its functionality. This is just a piece of 1-inch pipe, and you can put it in to where the MIG torch holder is, and then you got a nice armrest. So get yourself a piece of pipe. Is this thing worth $600? If you're gonna TIG weld and do charge pipes for turbo kits and stuff, the answer is absolutely not. If you are going to do MIG work with it, this thing is a gem. You see how uniform these welds are. Obviously, we're just zipping around a piece of pipe, but once you dial that welder in and you dial this machine in, it's going to give you a repeatable result every single time. Like every other video, guys, I'm going to have a link for this in the description. I'm going to have a link to the VEVOR Amazon store where you can get this. Just like everything else, guys, you watch me do this. And if you want a welding positioner, you can do it too. Thanks for watching.